Alright, good evening, everybody. My name is Gloria Ifeanyichukwu again, and today we're going to be talking about leadership, and then we're going to be looking at how leadership is a tool for influence in today's world. And we have with us here a wonderful soul. Okay, Sir John is a very, very special person. He's, let's say, a mentor. He's a friend. He has been there in some seasons of my life, yes. And then while I was checking, Idris, can you please mute yourself? When I was checking my scrolls of person worthy enough to talk to us about leadership, he came to mind. Right? He's such an awesome person. He has a lot inside of him that I really want us to draw from. I also came as a student today. It's not like I've not been coming as a student since, but today is going to be very, very impactful. There's going to be a lot of tearing down and building up. Yes, I don't want this to be emotional, but I want this to be interesting. So we're going to allow him and give him the floor. So welcome. Thank you so much for accepting to do this with us. I'm so, so grateful. I pray that God blesses you in Jesus' name. Yeah.
Right. Good evening, everybody. I believe we can all hear me. Good evening to you anywhere you're hearing me from. And depending on your time zone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. Firstly, I want to appreciate Gloria for this wonderful opportunity to bring the word, let me use the word, to you this evening on the concept of leadership. And I celebrate every speakers that have spoken ahead of me on different subject matter. I believe that you have been blessed across board from networking to AI, and all of that. And I believe that even this evening is going to be an impactful session. And I pray that it's really, really going to bless your heart. So once again, Gloria, thank you so much for having me. I don't take it for granted. It's always an honor anytime I'm asked to come speak to God's people and, just to impart the level of knowledge that I have to them and all of that. And I believe that this evening is one of such nights. And so I'll say this before we go into the business of the day. Firstly, I want to apologize. I try to make sure that I can make my presentations, but then due to a reason right beyond my own capacity, I won't be able to present tonight, but my slides are actually ready. So here's what's going to happen after this, my class, after my own session. I'm going to forward the slides to the convener of the meeting. And also at the same time, I have a reflective workbook for you guys that I specially designed. It was crafted by myself. And the goal is this. I've learned something that when it comes, you see, if you want to have a robust leadership, it's not going to be theoretical in nature. Whatever thing you claim to know must translate into work. All right? If it cannot be translated into work, then it cannot be defined as leadership. Because in the nitty-gritty of leadership, we're talking about influence. And influence has to do with work. Influence has to do with action. Influence has to do with something that is communicatable. Are we together now? So the essence of the workbook is going to be to let you know when it comes to your human interaction, when it comes to the level of knowledge you have, when it comes to how to relate with people, when it comes to, how to lead others. Are we together now? So if you go through the workbook and you pay attention and you answer some of the questions, then truthfully, I tell you, at the end of the day, one of the things that's going to happen to you is going to be like a man who is actually on the measuring scale. Are we together? And after the scale has been balanced and all of that, he is able to actually know the true weight of himself or herself. Are we together? So I thought to say that even before we continue in the course of this meeting. And also, my class is going to be an interactive one because it's leadership. So from time to time, so that we're in Nigeria, of course, and then we know that network is really now a friend. Do you understand? So for me to know that you are still with me, it's going to be advisable that you all make use of the in-call message, all right, so that once in a while, maybe as a response to what I said, or as a system to show that you are actually following, you can either drop a quote or you can drop a statement that I made to know that there is no glitch when it comes to the network, and also to know that you are actually following me. All right, like what Latif Topper just did. Thank you so much for that. So once in a while, we're going to be doing that. Is that okay? So we want to look at the concept of leadership this evening, and the theme is paradigm shift. All right, yes, we want to look at the concept of paradigm shift, but then that's not where I'm going to start from tonight. I'm going to look at the subject matter of leadership, all right? And one of the first things I want you to know is that in every generation, leadership always evolves. Are we together? Yes. In every generation, leadership evolves. It means that what you define, all right, as leadership in the last decade, in this current dispensation, it's not necessarily that the definition in the last decade is wrong. It just means that due to the way the world is going, due to the new inventions that are actually introduced, that definition that you implied to be the definition or to be the correct definition for leadership as at that time will not work in this dispensation. It does not matter, it does not mean that back then, when you define leadership, it was wrong. It only means that every generation evolves, and as it evolves, the leadership has to, for you to have an accurate definition of leadership, it has to follow the trend. It has to follow the new innovations. It has to follow the new inventions. Are we together? So what works in one era may not be effective in another. All right? Because we're in a world that changes in technology, that changes in globalization, that changes in education, that changes in generational value, that changes in economic pressure, social awareness, and there's rapid growth of when it comes to invention. So as a result of all of these things, leadership itself must always, at every point in time, experience what we call a paradigm shift. All right? That means leadership. When I say paradigm shift, that means leadership in itself must evolve. Are we still together? So what exactly do we mean by paradigm shift? When we talk about paradigm shift in leadership, what exactly are we talking about? We are talking about a fundamental change in mindset. All right? We are talking about a fundamental change in assumptions. We are talking about a fundamental change in methods. We are talking about a fundamental change in patterns of thinking. Let me take that again. When we are talking paradigm shift in leadership, we are talking about fundamental change in mindset, fundamental change in assumptions, fundamental change in methods, fundamental change in patterns of thinking. All right? Now, so when we are looking at paradigm shift, we are talking about the basic change when it comes to the mentality of people, when it comes to their mindset. There are belief systems, all right, that people held on to that were accurate as far back as 10 years, 15 years ago is concerned. Are we together now? There are belief systems, there are assumptions that people held on to as far back as 10 years ago. There are methods people used in actually execute some certain task as far back as 10, 15 years ago. Are you getting what I'm saying now? But now you find out that those things they are not necessarily extinct. But there is now an upgraded versions of those things. There is now a shift. There is now an evolving. in those things. So when we declare that there is a paradigm shift, we are talking about that there is a fundamental change. We are talking about an overhauling of a system. We are talking about an overhauling of a culture. We are talking about an overhauling of the people's method of thinking. We are talking about an overhauling of methodology. We are talking about an overhauling of mindset. We are talking about an overhauling of assumptions. The beliefs that you held on to that used to be the most accurate as at then no longer holds water in this dispensation. Why? Because there is now new inventions. There is now innovations. Are we still together? So I'm going to say this before I continue my explanation of paradigm shift. I'm going to say this, and listen to me carefully. One of the reasons why a lot of people, whether in business, whether in finances, in any area of their lives, the reason why a lot of people are stalled and they don't progress is because they don't understand when there is a movement in their own method. Did you get what I said? No, it didn't. I said oftentimes people don't know when there is already a movement in the method that they have. So a lot of people are stalled in their business because they kept on holding on to their old model. They kept on holding on to their old methodology. They kept on holding on to their old mindset. The way they think it is done, the way they feel it brings results. And now there is a new movement, but because that method has been working for them over the time, they don't see reason to now acclimatize themselves to what is going on. We call it in this dispensation trend. Are you getting what I'm saying? So as far as leadership is concerned, there's a moving. As far as leadership is concerned, you must be up to date. What we call trend in the Gen Z world is being up to date. Understand it. You may not necessarily be a part of it, but you must be aware. That's one thing about leadership. The first realm of leadership is what we call the realm of awareness. It's not just the realm of participation. And you get what I'm saying? Under the care of leadership, participation is the third. The first one is called the realm of awareness. That you know that this thing is actually needed for this particular thing to achieve this particular goal. Every leader that wants to be at the cutting edge of what is happening in the society must know what is in vogue, must know what is in town, must know what is the next thing that the society is following. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So it does not matter the area, the specialization where you find yourself. If you don't understand how to discern, permit me to use that word because it's a spiritual word. If you don't know how to discern, all right, that when there is already a shift, all right, you are going to be left behind. And if you are not careful, you are going to get angry to the people who are already open on the new trend, thinking that they don't have respect for you, that you are the old. It's not that they don't have respect, it's just that as the world is evolving, there are new innovations. And if you want to catch up and be at the cutting edge, you must follow the flow. Are you getting me now? Now let me bring it a little bit back into Christendom. Apologies for that. That's why oftentimes than not, you see people, whether believers, pastors, or ministers, they get angry at some certain things. Why? Because they are used to the old model. All right. I'll give you an instance. They are used to. Let me give you a contrast of the Old and the New Testament. All right. The Old Testament, when they want to meet with God, they need to go to the temple. They need to go to the tabernacle. Is that correct? All right. They go there. That's where they meet with God. Are you seeing that now? Now, Jesus came and he died, and Jesus came and said, "See, now that I have died for the world, there is no need for you to go to this tabernacle. There is no need for you to go to this temple. That now that Jesus has died, anybody that will worship the Father, we only worship him in spirit and in truth." Now in my model wrong, is the Old Testament wrong? No. Is the Old Testament is sin? No. But what I'm saying is that there is an upgraded version of the Old Testament, which is the new. The same thing Jesus said, Matthew chapter 5. He said, I have not come to abolish the law. He said, I have come that I may fulfill it. That Christ is the fulfillment of the law. So that means that the law in itself is pure. Galatians chapter 3 told us that the law, Romans rather, the law in itself is not sinful. The law in itself is righteous. But if you don't know what it takes, when there is a shifting from what the mentality, the ideology you used to hold on to what the Lord is saying in the now, you are going to be shortchanged. Are you getting what I'm teaching you now? So when we are talking about the subject matter of paradigm shift, we are talking about an evolving. The first thing, listen, I'm taking my time to explain this. Oftentimes than not, if you want to make any major progress in every part of your life, the first thing that makes the progress is not your body, it's first your mind. Are you getting me? See, anywhere your mind gets to, you drag your body there. So the mind gets to, let me use wealth. The mind first of all begin to operate in the realm of abundance before it drags the body there. That's leadership. That whatever thing your mind is unable to trap and is unable to process and receive, it can't drag the body there. So when the mind of a mind is not constantly renewed, when the mind of somebody is not exposed to what is new, to what is trendy, to what is the right thing to do, the person is going to be stale. Are you getting me now? So that was why when I defined paradigm shift, I told you it has to do with fundamental change in what? In mindset. Which is my first question to you tonight or to you this evening. What kind of mindset are you holding on to? What exactly do you know? Are you getting what I'm saying? Poverty first happens on the realm of the mind. Are you getting what? Wrong system of leadership first happens on the realm of the mind. Wrong mindset of masculinity first happens on the realm of the mind. Wrong mindset of household or of marriage first happens on the realm of the mind. Are you getting me now? If your mindset is not thoroughly renewed, if your mindset is not thoroughly worked on, you will hold on to a backward belief system, and you are going to bask in the fora of that system, thinking that is the original. Meanwhile, it doesn't work like that anymore. This is why there are people who are not false. Are you getting me? They are not just updated. Are you with me? Do you understand what I'm telling you? When it comes to mindset, there are people who are not, they are not false. The only problem is that they are not updated. What they hold on to, what they claim to know is actually right. It's just that it's no longer right in this time. Are you getting what I'm saying? It will be an anomaly. Let me come to the Gen Z world. It will be an anomaly for you now. Of course, don't think it's about what's it called now? Maybe laziness and all of that. Imagine with the advent effect or with the new invention of clouding, the AI tool. It will be I will shortchange myself if I will have to sit down and start racking my brain to draft a CV by myself. What do you think will happen to my job? I will lag, and at the same time I will not be able to meet deadlines. Is that correct? But the mindset that says that you write resumes, is it wrong? No. It's just that there is an evolving now. There is a tool, it's called an AI tool, and the essence of that AI tool is to aid your job, is to make your work faster, is to make your work easier, and is to make it much more in tune with what is happening in the current day. So if I decide that I'm going to stick to what I used to know, my olden way of writing CV, will I be right? Yes. But at the end of the day, will I be able to meet up to the demand? The answer is no. Are you seeing how it works now? That is why if you don't have a paradigm shift in your mind, you can't have a shift in any aspect of your life. And believe me, you can't operate maximally when it comes to leadership. You can't. Because a leader will only drag people to the level of his mentality. That means no follower grows beyond the level of the mindset of his leader. No one, except the one that understands what it means to break out and begins to subscribe to teachings, begins to subscribe to what do they call it now? That is outside of the curriculum of what the person that is leading him has. If not, you will not be able to grow beyond the mentality. You will not be able to grow beyond the mind. Because what happens is that there is an impediment. It's like that person is like the climax of what you can know. That is why there is nothing in this current dispensation and in this time that beats exposure. So I'm asking you this question the second time. What did you know? Are you getting me now? As a leader in finance, what did you know? Are you still part of those people that believe that having money is a sin? You can't be rich. I'm speaking to you now. This is a leadership conference. Alright? You can't be rich if you are part of the people that believe that money is a sin. Do you understand? If you believe that entering a Rolls Royce is luxury, it's not something that God actually made provided for us. You can't buy one. And unfortunately, that's the kind of, when it comes to teachings, that's the kind of teaching you are subscribed to make it look like anybody that is in poverty is the one to have the right Christianity. It's wrong. The same way the prosperity gospel is wrong. But the God hates you. The God don't, is it that God don't want you to be rich? No. Hope you know that being rich in the context of this world has nothing to even do with God. Because there are people who do not know God and they are rich. It actually means if you are a Christian, I'm sorry I'm bringing it out to being a believer. It actually means that if you are a Christian and you decided, alright, but as a result of your mindset not to be rich is because you don't want to, not because God don't want you to be. Hope you know that they are not, can I say this? Okay, I think I need to tell you. Do you know that there are people in the name of being contented, they masqueraded mediocrity as contentment? Do you know that? There are people who have masqueraded mediocrity as content. This is why mentality, this is why mindset is powerful. There are people who, the apex of whatever thing they want to achieve in their life is just to build a 3-bedroom flat. Do you know that? Have you, okay, this is a class. Have you met people who say things like this? See, all I just want in my life is just to build one house and just have a car and it's enough. Have you met, clap your hands, raise your hand if you have met somebody like that in your life. And it's not like they are saying it for cruise, they really meant it. Like they tell you that, see, me, I don't even want so much in my life, just let me build a house and, maybe just buy one car that I can be using to cruise. Is there anybody, if you have ever met anybody like that? It will be difficult for such a fellow to enter into the realm of abundance. You know why? Because his mindset will never permit it. It will never permit it. You are going to go as far as your mind can go. Do you get me? That was why when Abraham, when God wants to speak to him, he said, as far as your eyes can see. Not as far as I tell you, as you can see. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? So when it comes to your mind, what can you see about your future? There are some of you now, if not for this conference, you have put a blockage on the limit to which you can rise already as a result of what you are telling yourself. And you get what I'm saying? You have already put a limit on your mind as a result of what you are saying. Have you met leaders who make statements like, see me, I don't think I can become a professor? Have you met people who make statements like, see, me, I don't see all these people that they used to say they are billionaires, I don't think I know, what do I know? I just have BSc. Are you seeing the way people think now? And you get what I'm saying? That when they see people on the road, anybody who dresses very nice, the suspicion that they are into money laundering. Are you seeing how damaged the mindset of people is? And listen, when it comes to mindset, oftentimes than not, let me tell you this, oftentimes than not, the damage is done by society. The damage to the mindset is done by the society. It's as a result of the influence of the environment, the societal environment that they grew up from. And that is why Nigeria is conditioned to go backwards. I'm sorry to use the word. Because of the society they find themselves, because of the environment they find themselves, we have been conditioned to see anything that looks like a bit of freedom. We have been conditioned to see it as evil. And am I speaking to somebody here? Mindset. You need to first of all be explosive in your mind, then you become explosive in your life. A man who believes that he cannot lead more than 10 employees cannot have 15 of them. Because the impediment in his mind is 10. They can't grow beyond 10. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? A man that has never grown in his mentality beyond the realm of 10 million, if you give that man 100 million, he will not know how he will squander the 90 million until he gets back to 10 million. Because why? When it comes to the realm of his mind, he has not grown beyond 10 million. So he will squander 90 million until before he begins to plan. Why? Because the apex of his mentality is 10. 100 million looks like a luxury. If you think I'm lying, let's go and check it now. We can do a survey. Let me give you. I'm still teaching on mentality. If I'm able to explain this and get you angry on this part, I think I've done a good job. Let's do a quick survey. Let's call it a quick survey. Now, in just let's say because of time, in 2 minutes. All right. Just type in the comment section quickly. I hope you all can hear me, right? Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me first of all before we go ahead.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
All right, good. Now, let's do this quick survey. In 2 minutes, time for me in the comment section, all right? What you will do if I give you 5 million naira? Be fast. Quickly, what you're going to do with 5 million naira? Let's be fast about it. Just give me. Let's see what you are going to do with 5 million. I want to show you how the society, or I want to show you the level. Now, as I say this now, it is now somebody just realized that he doesn't have a business plan. No, don't feel bad, all right? I'm just showing you that's why you are here. All right? So if I'm saying now, let's be fast. You have 1 more minute. If you have, I give you 5 million naira now. What are you doing with it? So I just want to, let's have a quick survey. This is a leadership session. Okay, now. Because of time. Now, let's go and check the responses. Okay? Now, the first response said, I will start a business. Follow me carefully. The second response says, I will do gadget and accessory business. The third response says, I will first stock my kitchen and I will invest the remaining in my business. The next one said, I will buy my personal audiological equipment, increase my business capital. And the next one is, I will invest in my business and also get my novel published. Now, look at this. Follow me carefully. If you are a owner of a business and you want to give out a grant, with this pitch that they give to me, can you give any of them a grant? Now, let's start with the first one. I will start a business. The question is, what business? And now, when I said I will give you 5 million, you are not asking you. Everybody will say they want to start a business. The question is not whether you want to start a business. The question is, do you know the nitty-gritty of the business you want to start? What I'm expecting from you is that you must give me a breakdown of how that 5 million fits into that business you want to start. You can't just say you want to start a business. Are you getting what I'm saying here? That's why you will realize that there are some certain set of people, if you give them a certain amount of money, they will eat 1 million of the money. You will hear statement like, see, I don't to suffer. You can't blame them. It's the condition of the environment. We have been conditioned to say that the first thing that happens to you when you receive a sum of money is to make sure that you escape that poverty. It doesn't mean you are living poverty in itself, but first of all, escape poverty in your mind. So people think that the way to feel like they are no longer poor is by eating the food the rich eat. That's where the problem starts from. Are you getting what I'm teaching you? That's the first mentality they have. They feel like the way I can, because it has to do with a status symbol. That is why a lot of people, I can bet you, they will squander half of the money in order to look like what they want instead of becoming what they want. Yes, I'm telling you the truth. They will spend half of the money to look like what they want instead of becoming what they want. Shift in mindset. That's why it's called a paradigm shift. It's a fundamental change in your thinking, in your method. If A does not work, you switch to B. You can't be a one-way street as a leader. Leadership has to do with dynamics. You must be able to craft something out of nothing. One of the things about leadership and paradigm shift is that you must be creative. Are you getting me now? The power of creativity must reside within you. You must be able to bring something out of nothing. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. So when we are talking paradigm shift in leadership, we are talking about moving out of something that is outdated, all right, leading into a model that is what, that can produce relevance, that can produce growth, that can produce trust, that can produce sustainable impact. That's what we call paradigm shift in leadership. When we leave out outdated ways of leading people, we leave out outdated ways of doing things, and now we begin to adapt models that produces relevance. We begin to adapt models that produces growth. We begin to adapt models that produces trust. We begin to adapt models that produces sustainable impact. Underline the word I used there, sustainable. Now, somebody's going to ask me, all right, and they will say, John, what do you mean by sustainable impact? Is impact not impact? No. All right? Impact is not just impact. There is impact we call sustainable. That means that impact has a capacity to continue to replicate itself. How do we have sustainable impact in leadership? It's very simple, I will tell you. The way to have it is by replicating and building more people to replicate the same thing. What am I saying? You can have impact on a generation, but if that impact is not sustainable, it will die after the third one. So then it means that for that impact to be sustainable, you must be able to commit the models, you must be able to commit the procedures, you must be able to commit the principle, you must be able to commit the guidelines, the teachings that produce that impact into other persons, so that impact can be replicated. Then that impact becomes sustainable. That is why I have a definition when it comes to leadership. When it comes to success, rather, in leadership, I tell people you are not a success yet until the person under you becomes a success and can replicate other successes. Because your success is not measured in who you hand over to. Your success is measured after the one you hand over to successfully hand over that success. Because success that cannot be replicated cannot be defined as success. Your success must be replicated. It must, and not just replicated in you, it must be replicated in other persons. That means for me to be successful, to be defined as a successful person, I must be able to replicate that success in two dispensations. Is that okay now? Let me give you an instance. If somebody is the chairman of a company, for us to define him as truly, it's unfortunate that what we define as success is what a man gathers. Yeah? Yes. And can I say this? This is not a finance class, but let me say this. Do you know, oftentimes, do you know the difference between the people that are rich and the poor, quote and unquote? It's because, see, what the rich gives to their children is not what the poor gives to their children. Oftentimes than not, if you see somebody who does not really have so much money, for you to say that your father is successful, all right, that means your father has a lot of money in his bank account. An average person, that's success. But if you go to the rich, what they define as their success is that they have their legacy passed across to their children. How many of you understand what I'm saying? Wave your hands if you understand what I'm saying. So that means that they don't measure their success in their wealth. Do you know that? They measure their success in legacies. That means that if the legacies can be successfully passed across down to generation, that man is defined as a successful man. That is why a rich man is concerned about giving his children a kind of education that will expose that child to a level, a mindset, a kind of life where what he is doing will not seem too much for that child. That is why an average rich man welcomes his child, right, to rooms of conversations where billions are being discussed, where millions are being discussed, millions of dollars are being discussed. Why do you think they do that? Have you not noticed? Why do you think Dr. Tony Elumelu always take his child to conference outside the country? Have you not wondered what the child knew? Why is he taking the child? I'm exposing you tonight. What he's trying to do is that he can't give that child money. He can give that child exposure. Exposure so that if it pass on today, the business can successfully strike in that girl's hand. Why? Because she already understood how to think like a billionaire, even though she's not yet one. That's why rich people hand over legacies, not money. Legacies. You get what I'm saying now? So when you are a leader when it comes to paradigm shift in leadership, we talk about relevance, something that can replicate itself, it can stand the test of time. We talk about growth, we talk about trust, we talk about impact, something sustainable. You see, many businesses, governments, even families, they struggle not because leadership is absent, but because leadership is trapped in old paradigms. Do you hear what I said? They struggle not because leadership is absent, but rather because what? Leadership is trapped in old paradigms. They bask in the euphoria of old glories. They bask in the euphoria of old methods. They bask in the euphoria of old ideologies. That's why leadership is trapped. There is no evolving in society. Are you getting what I'm teaching you here? Let me calm down a little bit so that you can understand. How do you expect, I hope this will not be too much for me to say, how do you expect a country to progress? Listen carefully. When the same set of politicians are still the one in power after 50 years. Yeah, just think about it for a minute. How are you expecting a change? Where should this change come from? Where is the evolving coming from? From the same people who were the old that were brought to the new. That is why there is no system of advancement, because it's a recycling of the old. See, people, we don't lack leadership when it comes to people. We only lack paradigms. We only lack people who does not want to commit themselves to the current flow. So you see people, they don't believe in successions. They don't believe in the fact that power must be transient. It must be handed over to people who understand the language of the youth. That is why it is impossible for a youth to become a presidential candidate in this time. Why? Because the old are going to choke them. They believe that the new does not understand what it takes to lead. Meanwhile, leading in this dispensation is not even as difficult as it takes. Leadership is just understanding the flow. Upgrading, knowing what's new, upgrading your mindset, upgrading your assumptions, upgrading your group levels. Are you seeing that now? That's leadership. So a leadership paradigm is the lens through which a leader sees authority, is the lens through which a leader sees people, is the lens through which a leader sees success, is the lens through which a leader sees communication, is the lens through which a leader sees responsibility, is the lens which the leader sees growth. Are we together? That's the lens. That's what we call leadership paradigm. The lenses through which you as a leader now, with the lens through which you see authority. That's why I said my session is just going to be challenging. And you get what I'm saying? It's just going to be challenging. How do you see authority? Do you see authority as usurping? Do you see authority to mean that you can't be questioned? Do you see authority to mean that you have the final say in everything? That's a broken lens. You get what I'm saying? The fact that the lens is still active does not mean it's seen accurately anymore. I was teaching in a class yesterday and I was explaining the concept of lens to them. For those of you that went to university, maybe you did engineering and all of that, or you're a science student. There's something we did light waves. And other light waves, you see a lot of refraction, deflection, and what's the third one? And diffraction. All right? Refraction, deflection, and refraction. Those three. You will find out that a lens can be distorted. It can still be seen clearly. But at the end of the day, there is already a distortion in that lens. Are you getting what I'm saying now? You see a lens of a mirror of a car. Under in the mirror, they will tell you objects are closer than they appear. The question is that why is it that when you look into the lens, they look like they are far, but under the lens, they say that objects are closer than they appear? It shows you that the way the lens is actually structured is to give you an idea, all right, of the next car that is behind you, but you can't know how close that car is. So the lens is just there to pass as an information technique to let you know that that thing you are seeing, the gap is not as far as you think it is. So there are people who have lens that is already distorted. There are people who have lens that the fact that it is working does not mean it's a good one anymore, but it's a bad one. And these are people in leadership. They are in positions, but they don't have a good lens. So how they view authority is very different. How they view people is different. Their view of success, their view of communication. And you see all those things in the society today. You've heard people how they communicate. You've heard people make statements like, I'm saying, oh my goodness. We are in a very distorted world. And see, if you don't know anything, I'm begging you, not because it's my session, please learn leadership. If you don't know anything, please learn what I'm teaching you today. And I'm going to say a statement, the social media is not real. I know you want to fight it, but if you really want to grow, take what I just said to you. The social media is not a real place. If you build your life there, you will have yourself to blame. Believe what I'm telling you. You know why? We have a lot of people who have been conditioned to think like their country. Yes. An average Nigerian does not have a mind of his or her own. Believe what I'm telling you. There is no level of exposure that can come to an average Nigerian beyond the realm of that. You will see the way they think. And let me give, don't feel bad. I just want to give you some examples. Now, let me ask you a question. Why do you think, okay, let me not put it this way, don't laugh. What happens to you when they bring light, when the light is restored, all right? And somebody makes a statement like, this light, they might still take it again. Oh. What's the first thing that you'd say? You say, see, don't let them take this light though. And to you, if that light stayed, you would think that the reason why that light stayed is because you say the person should not see bad thing. How bad can a mindset be that damaged? Now, have you thought about what I just said for a while? Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine? You go to a country, you go to an ATM machine, you input the digits yourself, 10,000 naira, and when the money comes out, you don't take the money and go. You take the money, stand in front of the ATM and count it again. How did that mindset come? What happens to the trust in the machine? Who imputed the money? So how come you can't trust that system that you need to count to be sure? Are you getting what I'm saying? In Lagos, you will see a zebra crossing, but before you will cross, you will still look left and right. What exactly is the essence of the zebra crossing? Is to tell the car that when you get to this place, you slow down. It doesn't matter the speed you are coming with. But you can't do that in Nigeria. Why? It's not because the zebra crossing is not effective. It's because of the mindset. We know that people are so damaged that they may not obey that zebra crossing. It's the country. It's not the crossing. It's not the sign that have issues. It's the country. And we are now being conditioned to think like that. You see why a lot of people don't have exposure now. You see why a lot of people communication skill is distorted. You have people who say, if you don't text me, I won't text you. They don't know. Have you met people who cannot hold reasonable conversations? The lens through which they view conversation is a broken one. Have you met people who cannot be held to ransom, who cannot be held accountable? They don't know how to be responsible. average young man now believes that if something happens, let's say he impregnates a lady, for instance, an average Nigerian is taught that the first thing he needs to do to bring himself out of that problem is to deny the pregnancy. Do you get what I'm saying? That's a guy of 30 years old. The lens to which he's seeing from. And that's somebody, if you ask him, he will say he wants to become the leader of the nation tomorrow. By what lens? My session is a short one, so I'm just going to be throwing you this challenge, little by little. How do you view growth? What are the books you subscribe to? What are the teachings you subscribe to? What are the books? Now, let me give you a structure. How do you measure growth? Listen, most times, the problem with people who are leaders, the problem that I've realized with them is that their growth system is not structured. And I'm helping somebody under the sound of my voice. Whether you're a pastor, whether you're a business person, whether you're a student, whatever. If you follow this model I'm about to give you, I tell you, you are going to measure tremendous increase in growth. Number one problem is that, see, you can never grow haphazardly. Now, this is the first problem I have with young people like myself. We consume everything that we see. You won't grow that way. Do you understand? My time is almost up. I think I have 4 minutes. Gloria, is the meeting ending in 4 minutes? Can you hear me? I think I'm seeing, it's telling me that the call is going to end in 4 minutes.
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
Gloria, can you hear me? Okay, so we have to end the call in 4 minutes.
Yes, we have to.
Okay, so let's just wrap up then. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is this, it's very simple. It's the fact that when it comes to leadership and when it comes to growth, your growth must be structured. All right? Structured in the sense that you must tell yourself, this is the area I want to grow. For the next 3 months, I want to invest in personal development. And you must stick to that routine. All right? You can decide that for this week, all I want to invest in is wealth creation and communication skills. You must structure your growth and stay to it. So growth is structured, growth is planned, growth is premeditated. You don't wake up and say, I want to read a book on the Holy Spirit. No. If you read a book on the Holy Spirit tomorrow, the plan must already be in place today. And not just that the plan must be in place today, there must be something you want to get from the book. I'm teaching you something powerful here. There must be something you already have in your mind that when I read this book, this is what I want this book to achieve. So when you begin to read the book now beats your expectation. Are you seeing that now? Then what you have read, you now intentionally practicalize them. You tell yourself you want to become a public speaker. You tell yourself every day I learn 5 new English. So what do? When I learn those English, intentionally I inculcate them in every of my conversations. This is what I do. So when I hear people say, oh, John, you speak so well, it's not long. And you are not even psyching me, neither are you making me feel good. It's hard work, I put work into it. So it's not a cliche of you saying, John, you sound really good, or you speak good. No. There's a hard work to it. I learn English word every day. And intentionally, when I'm having substantive conversation, I make sure that those words comes out when I'm having conversations. Are we together? I hope we have been able to learn something today. Yeah, I told you that. I just introduced you to you.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Yes,
thank you so much.
Yes,
and God bless you.
we are going to come back for question and answer session for 20 minutes. So I already sent the link to the main button to user. Just kindly use that. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, I will check that.
I just end the
All
call
right.
and then let's come back later. the settings of our Google Meet is just very unique and extraordinary. So we're going to continue, and Mr. John is around to take um, our questions. But come on, wasn't that so powerful? That was so much. That was a lot. I was just receiving it, that was coming from here, coming from there. So right now we're going to go into the question and answer session. If you have a question, if you're bold, during the day 2 of our teaching, we learned audacity, right? So if you're bold enough to unmute your mic to ask a question, just raise your hand. We'll give you the platform to do that. And then you're going to ask your question. Or if you can't, just type on it. Okay. Do we have anybody that have a question here? And type, you can unmute yourself. Anybody? I'm going to give us like 2 minutes. If there is none, I'm going to call it a day then. And before we call it a day, we're going to ask our speaker to give us a beautiful closing of what he wants us to take home with, what we don't want to forget. Think deep. The man here is a lot. He has a lot within him. Ask questions that you feel you want to ask now. I think we actually have something here. Let him go on with the explanation. Abi? Alright, that's not a bad idea. Since nobody have any question, they are enjoying the teaching, we could just go on. Then in 15 minutes, we just wrap up with a closing remark, right? If you are in agreement, kindly use your emoji. Alright, so if we are to go with that, I think I'm going to go with Barajide. Thank you so much for that beautiful idea. So Pastor John, over to you. Just go on with your teaching. Take us to the other realm. Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you so much. So let me just wrap up with what I'm saying for the sake of time. I was explaining that when it comes to growth, I said your growth must be structured. Is that what I said? And I was trying to explain to you that if you want to put some certain things in place, it comes with a high level of intentionality. So I don't know just something that I did not keep metrics to. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can't tell yourself that you are growing if there's no metrics to measure those activities, if there's no metric to measure those things that you are subjecting yourself to. And I'm saying are you getting my point? Yes. And the last one, which I will tell you tonight, is what I call the pinnacle level. The pinnacle level. People follow on pinnacle level. People follow because of who you are and because of what you represent. All right? At the pinnacle level, people follow you because of what you are, because of what you represent, and because of who you are. This is the highest level of leadership. The highest level of leadership. And this level, this pinnacle, level of leadership, it is earned through years of integrity. It is earned through years of impact. It is earned through years of consistency. And it is earned through years of developing habits. That if you cannot subscribe to developing, see, oftentimes, let me say this, I'm wrapping up already. You know, oftentimes I've heard people meet me and they say, sir, I want to lead people, I want to do da 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 da. And you know, I have a simple litmus test I used to give them. Alright? And I'll give it to you tonight. Go and try it in your locality, in your areas, in your business, in your whatever thing. Meet with somebody who really humble. Find somebody who has been, you know, fronting themselves as a leader and all of those plenty things. Especially people who are authoritarians. The people that like ordering people, just give it, you know, that people that, you know, those people that they don't have paradigm shift yet, that they think leadership is about ordering people around, giving commands and all of those jargons. Alright? Meet them and give them a simple litmus test. And what's that litmus test? Tell them to intentionally, or you find somebody that, give them someone. Or not give them someone, give them yourself. And tell them that they should consistently check up on you for the next 30 days. You will find out how they will feel, hopefully. I mean, that I'm telling you the basic litmus test. Do you know why? An average Nigerian has a very short attention lifespan. Yes, I'm sorry. An average Nigerian has a very short attention span. That's why a lot of leaders don't make any sense out of themselves. Alright? Because every leader believes that leading people is about being spontaneous. You see, an average young person can only talk in the moment. They can't talk on the long run. In the moment. And let's just put this in place. Why don't you do this? You have to build yourself. You have to do. After that, let that person come and replicate the same tomorrow. Zero. Not stop of in 30 days. Do you understand? That's how you know people who cannot really become leaders. You know why? Because leaders is staying on. Especially on the pinnacle level. It is staying on. You must insist until you see the change. Do you understand? So people begin to follow you now based on who you are. You know why it is who you are? Because we have what we call the track record. They've seen you build other people, so they know who you are. Alright? And they've seen what you can do. So it is on that level that they will follow you. Are you getting me? You don't have rights. Listen to me. As I wrap up for you tonight, you don't have rights to demand loyalty for somebody you have never invested in. You don't have that right. You get what I'm saying? You don't have a right also to demand respect from somebody you have not invested in. Because the kind of leadership we have in these days is people who demand respect just because you are placed in a position. I'm not supposed to respect you because you have a position. I'm supposed to respect you because you communicate value. I'm supposed to respect you because I see something that you are doing is worth emulating and I'm not following you. It is on that realm I respect you. Not because you have a position. A dummy can be put in a position. Well, I call it dog, sir, because he's sitting on the seat of the chairman. But unfortunately, that's what we want in our world. We want people to respect us. We want to be addressed by titles. But nobody wants to pay the groundwork. Nobody wants to hatch the egg. Nobody wants to take the time to build from scratch. If you all these things that I've taught you tonight, if you apply it in your daily life, I tell you, you are going to see change, even in the midst of your friends. Have you heard people that say things like, let me ask you a question. Have you heard a statement that people make when they say things like this, that don't be with friends that they don't bring anything to the table, something like that? How many of you, wave your hands, let me see. That they make statement like, let me put it the way they used to put it for you. They'll say, if you have a sample of friends, that you cannot call one person and say they should give you 1 million, change your friends. How many of you have heard something like that before? Let me see your hands up. Am I the only one that is Gen Z? Just wave your hands. Okay, I think I've seen somebody's hands. Okay, I think that one person have heard it. That's good. Good. Have you heard it? That's the most dumbest statement I've ever heard. I'm telling you the truth. And some of you already having that nonsense mindset now. Now you already, oh my God, now you're already struggling hard. You're already changing your friends, the people that God brought into your life for growth and structure, because they don't have 1 million. Now you are changing them. I tell you, you are going to get to a level in your life where you will not have anybody to come to you for help. Who told you that that's the definition of friendship? Who told you friendship in itself is transactional? Friendship can be transactional, but who told you that friendship is monetarily transactional? This is the mindset shift I'm talking about. Do you understand?
Friendship is transactional in the sense that you bring something to the table. I can't be friends with somebody who does not have anything they are adding to my life. No. I'm sorry to say, it's not about being bad. I can't be friends with you. There must be something you are communicating to me. But that mindset that means that you must communicate monetary value to me is demonic. Some of you now, you are changing the circle of your friends because they cannot give you 50 million, because they can't give you 5 million. Who told you that that's the definition of friendship? And these are people who are going to become leaders tomorrow. How then are we so sure that you are not going to only make friends with people who can help you loot money? What's the guarantee that we have? Because when we check the circle of your friends, there are only people who can lift your hands up when you need monetary problems. That's the mindset we're talking about, a damaged mentality. And you guys know what I'm saying? I'm helping somebody to change the mindset tonight. It's okay to be angry, but I'm just changing your mindset. When you check your circle of friends, first question is, what are we? Is joint air supply? What is this one supplying? There are some friendship level that you are going to keep them, because anytime you are down, you know that this person has the counsel in their mouth. How dare you now spoil that friendship because there is no money involved? There are some friends that you have that when you want to buy anything in this life, they always have a plug. How many of you can relate with me? Yeah, maybe you can relate. The other person must have one plug. Do you understand? And now you are going to damage that friendship now, all because that person does not have money to give you. It's a damaged mentality. So if you are a leader, you must be the father of the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what it means to be a leader. You don't only coach people who have tendency of becoming successful. In short, a lot of things is just flashing through my mind. In short, let me put it this way for you. You are not a leader if the only people you lead are the only people that they are becoming is already visible. You are not yet a leader. One of the things, the virtue of a genuine leader is the ability to see the becoming of the people even before themselves. That's one of the virtue of being a leader. Majority of people that by God's grace that I have raised, by God's special grace, I say this with all sense of humility. You can ask Gloria herself. I raised them when they don't even know what they are going to become themselves. I saw what they will be before they themselves. You can ask Gloria. You get what I'm saying? That's leadership. There's something we call foresight. The ability is like a prediction. Do you understand? It's not guesswork, it's a prediction, and you have to be right because it works with instinct. You understand? There is a knowing within you. That's leadership for you. The ability to bring nothing out of something. And you get what I'm saying? You bring it out. It can take you 10 years to define. 10. But your call as a leader says that you must stay on them. That's what your call as leader says. You must stay on them. Do you understand me? I have somebody who wanted me to mentor her. I'm saying this so that like a rapper. Somebody to mentor her, and then she reached out to me, told me a lot of things and all of that. And I gave her some certain instructions. Then she was already coming up and all of that. For those of you that know me, I'm a very strict person. And she was already coming up and I was so happy and all of that. Then one day she just fell back again. Do you understand? I was really, really angry with her. And she said a statement to me. She said, "Sir, are you now saying that you are going to leave me all by myself?" I just smiled. I said, "This girl doesn't know me. I've dealt with people that are more worse than you. The only reason why I'm not talking to you is because I don't have time. You don't know me at all. I like bad people. Oh my God, I like bad people." You understand? That stubbornness, that coconut head that you think you have, that you know is your word. Me, I like it. I will suffer you. It is on that realm you will realize that there is something gold inside of. This is why when people pledge their loyalty to me, you can't change their mind easily. You know why? They saw before they submit. I did not steal them when they were already becoming. They saw before they submit. You getting me now? That's why one time when you see, why are you so loyal to that person? Oh, you think it's easy to trace somebody? I've got to bail somebody from the police station before, and they call me the pastor of thief. How do you want to correct that? How do you want to tell that person not to follow John? How? Leadership. Who told you it's a rosy journey? Sometimes they put a dent on your plot, and you must be able to embrace it. You know what it means to be a leader? That your sheep fall in the gutter and you brought it out with your 2 hands and up it. That's a leader. The whole mess rub off on you that people cannot even tell whether it was you that fall in the gutter or the sheep. It's painful. That's why we have very few people who are exhibiting leadership because they don't have the right mindset. It's painful. Leadership is not giving orders. It's not correcting people and telling, no. It's hard work. It's building. It's mentorship. It's training. It's teaching. All right? It's evolving. It's delegation. Allowing people to take charge. Allowing them to mess up and then correcting them. Some of you are scared of your followers messing up. Let them mess up. It's in that mess up you teach them. When they do it, tell them, do it again. They mess it up, do it again. They mess it up, do it again. They continue to do it until they get it right. That's leadership. I don't care what it costs me. They must keep doing it again. Because what I'm raising is I'm raising another leader that I have to go and raise another one. There's no time. They're not going to be with you forever. I don't know which leader I'm speaking to right now. They won't be with you forever. So you better train them now so that they can go and train other people. Or else you have yourself to be blamed. Is that okay? I hope with this viewpoint of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that leadership starts first from the mind. Alright? Yeah. And when you have achieved it on your mind, it can go on and on, on and on, on and on, on and on. Alright, I think I have one question here, right? I hope I'll be able to answer this because of the time.
Okay.
The message said, as leader, is it compulsory the person shows up everywhere to take actions? Hope it won't be as if the person is prognosing to everything or knowing too much. Explain. Alright, leadership is not about showing up everywhere. Alright? In short, you don't even need to show up in leadership. When I say show up, I mean in everything. You don't even need to. You don't need to. I'm telling you the truth. Alright? See, when you are still building people, alright, you need to monitor. Please follow my word carefully. You need to monitor. So that level can look like as if you are prognosing. Alright? But if they know you to be somebody who is there so that they don't do mistake, they won't see it as prognosing. Alright? So you must have that level of intentionality to make sure that they get it right. But when you're already training them, you must afford them the opportunity to make their mistakes. So you can't be everywhere. That's why I said it is painful. You must be able to trust them enough. That's why leadership is painful. You must be able to trust them enough that, I'm only trusting you that you won't make mistake. Even though they will still make that mistake. Do you understand? But you have to. That's how they grow. And that's how they get to believe you and they get to see that you believe in them. But if you keep showing up at every little activity they know, the message you are sending to them is that you don't trust them enough to do it. Are you getting my point? So instead of that, what you do instead is that you allow them to work. All you do as a leader, give the instructions, give the guidelines, let them know, give them a template, and let them go ahead. Your body will be training you somehow to go and check up. Still hold it. Let them be the one to come and submit it to you. Or let them be the one to come and ask you questions. When they now come, then you put them aright. Say, no, this one is wrong. No, that one you must be. Are you getting what I'm saying here? So, but if you at every point in time correct everything they do, they will get tired. At the end of the day, that's why you hear people say things like, okay, maybe you come and do it yourself. The reason why they make that statement is because you did not afford them the room to fail enough. Leaders, you must afford your followers room to fail enough. Are you getting me now? Yes, you must afford them the opportunity. So you must allow them, okay, go. The person fail, it pains you. Go again. The second time it fails. Go again. By the time you say go again the third time, there is this grit that person has. There is this tenacity. There is this endurance that the person, because the person does not want to fail you anymore. So the reason why they will get it right is not even because they want to know the work, it's because they want to please you. You'll be shocked. Are you getting it? People are smart. But if you don't allow them the opportunity to use their brain, you will think they are dumb. I have worked with some people who I've heard people condemn that they don't know how to think well. And they end up becoming the biggest brain in the team. You know why? I afford them the opportunity to fly. So allow people to make their mistakes. Do you understand? And be a kind of leader that they will be okay telling them your mistakes, telling you their mistakes. That's an area that I found out that we have failed in a lot of things in business. How do you think people do some things against their boss and they hide it? Because their boss have shown them to be a tyrant. Every sense of mistake is met with a judgment that is exaggerated. Are you getting me now? When people make mistake, they may be scared of you, but because they already know that you are going to caution them, you are going to rebuke and correct them, they will still come and tell you. This is why I like most of my guys. Right? When they mess up, they say, Pastor John, I'm sorry I did this. I will shout. Of course, they know that. Some of them is a very grievous offense. I will put you on punishment. But I will be checking up on you to know you never derail. That's leadership for you. You must constantly follow them up until the person feels like he doesn't want to submit again. Listen, let me tell you this. You have a right to discard people. You are not Lord of the Rings. God did not send anybody to you. Hello? So you must be ready to discard people. When you see somebody, you carry them, they don't want to be carried. You leave them alone to sit on the floor. Are you getting me now? Let them sit on the floor and act like you did not see them. You have tried your best. Do you understand? It's only Jesus that died for all. It's not you. You did not die for anyone. I hope I answered your question.
Over to you, Gloria. I'm done.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm so grateful. Thank you for this beautiful explanation and outpouring that you just did for us. So not encouraging so much that people are not available for this kind, but definitely they are going to get the so sorry for the background noise. I'm going to get the recording later on the YouTube page. I think because they are very occupied or because today is Thursday, something like that. But Sir John, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for this beautiful evening and the teaching. It was so powerful, so inspiring, so knowledgeable, so practical. Yeah, we can apply it to our lives. Many things stood out for me. I'm not just going to listen to them only, I'm going to become them because I feel like I'm getting to that season. Even if it's not yet here, I think it's something that's going to open up later on. So I have to put them to practice so that I can be exceptional. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Thank you, everybody. It's not only Sir John I'm going to appreciate, obviously. I want to thank everybody for being here too. Thank you for showing up and also learning, being submissive. The way to go up is to come down. There's a way it is from the top down to the bottom. Thank you. And I know that I will meet at the top. Definitely. All right. Let's call it a night. Good night, everybody. See you in our next session. I'll be on Saturday.